Welcome to PK Woodworking, and this is going to be part 2 of my FS7 Lawn Invincible joiner planer combo review / introduction. And the reason why I'm doing this secondary one is because twofold. I didn't really explain the control panel, the Ready 3 control panel, very well in depth, so I'm going to go over that. And also, I didn't really talk about how long it takes to do the changeover. So I wanted to go back and forth with the changeover a few times so that everybody could understand that. So there is a pretty significant difference between this particular machine and the other joiner planer combos that are out there on the market. First things first, this one you don't have to change which side the dust collection comes in and off of. It comes off, it stays on this as you're facing it right hand side no matter what, if it's in joiner or planing kind of mode. So that's really kind of cool. Some machines do that. The Felders don't. And then secondarily, I don't have to move the machine table for the planer down past 1 inch to be able to close this. So as long as this table is 1 inch or lower, it will close. Most of the machines on the market are more like 5 inches plus, which has made people come up with ways to move the table much faster. On some of the hammer ones, they've come up with ways to put your drill into it and move it down quicker. And usually that's what comes up with this. It takes me 1 minute to do a changeover. So I wanted to show you what this looks like from here. So you can see I have a GoPro down here, that will show kind of what the screen's doing right now. And you'll see it's at 30 millimeters on the actual screen. So all I need to do is press the button down here and then press this secondary button at the top right here. And then as soon as I press, I'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll give it maybe 6 seconds, maybe 7. I don't know, something like that. And then to reverse it, there's a lock handle down here that I think you can see from the GoPro angle. You just unlock it, so I'm going to start counting from then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say 6 seconds. And there goes my my air compressor. The air compressor, this doesn't take very much air. It uses air to do it if you can't hear it doing what it's doing. But while it's doing that, it also opens and closes the shroud that covers the cutting head, so that you don't have to lower or raise that particular the bed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move that bed to 25.4 so that we can see what it's going to do, like if it'll do it at 1 inch. 25.4 equal. Okay, so now it's going to do its little thing. It's going to move up, and it's going to go right to 25.4. So we're at 25.4, 1 inch, which is, I think it's 25 millimeters is what the actual spec is. But 25.4, 1 inch. Again, I press this button down here at the bottom, button here at the top. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. I'm going to say 6 seconds. So either way, it takes somewhere around 6 seconds to go up and down. And the rest of this I'm going to do with a different angle to show you what the actual workings of the Ready 3 look like. But I just wanted to say that if you think about how long it takes to walk from, say, a joiner to a planer, or make sure the power's on at the joiner and planer, or make sure that your dust collection is turned on at a joiner and planer. Like, I think, in my opinion, it takes just as long to walk between the two of them as it would be for me to open and close this. And secondarily, I don't have to have 2 sets of dust collections, one setup for the planer, one setup for the joiner. If you're into Norfab, a dust collection piping, then that cost adds in also. A secondary port to open and close. All those things add up. And so for me, this is just super fast and super easy. I open the thing up, I press the 2 buttons, and I go. And it's pretty fast. And I am ready to start going again. So again, that was one thing I really wished I would have covered in the first video. So now let's move on to talking about the Ready 3 programming. Sorry, why does the air compressor always come on when I don't want it to? So now I'm gonna have to change the video view a little bit of me because I don't think you'll see my face if I'm sitting down. For this part of the Ready 3 description, I figured this would be a better angle. Okay, so for the Ready 3 system that's on this Law Invincible joiner planer, Ready 3 is on a few other machines from SCM, so it's somewhat universal for a few different machines. So it actually can do more than what it's doing on this particular machine, but I'm gonna go over what this is about because really it's not been explained anywhere on the internet. So I just kind of wanted to go over this. So I'll start off with what they like to call manual mode. Okay, so the most of the stuff you're going to see on the GoPro right here is going to be self-explanatory. Incremental operations right here. Functions going to give you all the different programmability things inside of the machine. This execute button is going to be the programs that are in the machine. You use the equal button basically to get you to the next step. The red button stops everything. The escape button lets you go backward. This machine has a what people call a manual kind of way of doing it, which is pretty close to the same as I had on my Felder 941. I think it also comes that way on the 951 too, please, also, and quite possibly the 741, but they call it power drive. Other machines are similar to this. I think the older Martin joiner planer combo is also very similar to this. So you just pick between this F1 and F2 if you want to go up or down. So say I want to go down, I press that button down, and then this blue light, which is kind of like the activate button I like to call it, just does whatever it's going to do. If you press it once, it's going to go down 1/10 of a millimeter. If you press it and hold it, it'll go down 1/10 of a millimeter again, and then begin to just go down at whatever speed the motor they choose to give you. And I think it speeds up the longer you hold it down. So same thing, if you choose to go up, you press the button up. Now it's going to let you do it. Same thing, it'll go up 1/10 and then it'll accelerate the longer you hold it down. I think it's got a total of, 2 speeds. So you can use it manually, go up and down, however you want to go up and down. I don't really have a good use for that per se because I like using it in the semi-automatic mode and then the incremental mode also. So let me tell you about those. So I'm going to escape now out of that so that it turns off the mode we were in previously. Now I'm going to go to the semi-automatic mode. So here's what I use the most. So say if I want to go to 18 millimeters, I'm just going to take 18, press the enter, hit the blue button, and it's going to go to 18 millimeters. That is what I do most of the time because if I'm going between modes, and I'm doing some processing, I've decided I want to go to a certain dimension, that's what I'm going to do. So now if I want to go backward, it will, so say let's go 30.3 millimeters. If I hit this button now, it's going to actually go further than 30.3 and come back up to take out any backlash out of the system to make sure it's completely accurate. And it is really super accurate. So there you go. That's the semi-automatic mode, which is similar to what Felder has on their AD951 and their Format 4 Dual 51 if you choose to get DigiDrive, which lets you select those the exact dimension as you're going to. And now it's also got incremental mode. So if you press incremental mode and then you want to move it, say 1 millimeter more, you press 1, hit the enter button, the blue goes and it goes to 29.3. So if you're in the midst of processing a bunch of wood and you decide, hey, I got a long way to go. Maybe I started out with 8/4 and I need to get something closer to 6/4 lumber. You can decide to take 3 millimeters a shot, 5 millimeters a shot, 2 millimeters a shot, and you can just do it by incrementally doing it instead of having to type in that exact number each time. So kind of a cool feature there too, which I do use. The programming part of it is kind of cool. So like I talked about earlier, for you to get actually to be able to close and open the table without doing anything, you have to be at 25 millimeters minimum. So what I did is I went into this execute button, and I have all of these different programs set up here. So my execute one is for 3 millimeters, which is the minimum that it can go to. And then execute 2 is 250 millimeters max. And then I have 18 millimeters, 30 millimeters, and 50 millimeters programmed in there. You could program 99 things in there. I don't know if you'd need to, but I use, God, I love that air compressor. I use 30 all the time. And so let's just go right to 30, and it'll take us to 30, and we can start from there. So that's kind of a cool feature of the Ready 3 on this machine, because if you're doing a lot of, let's say, windows or doors, and you need to come to a specific dimension, you can always have that final dimension programmed in here. So your final pass, hit the button, you know the final pass is going to come out perfectly. One other thing that is semi-complex here is that under the functions, like this is all of the different things that you can do on the machine. So you can write the programs in the first part of it. You can, there's a calculator on it. I don't know why you'd want to calculate it. It has an hour counter that counts how long it's been on and how long it's been actually planing or doing anything for you. The motors have been on. But if you go down to 6, which is the parameters, and you hit the button, then you can actually change the display, and you can change the configuration, you can change the axis, whatever you want to do. If you come to display and hit enter, now you can change, I think, the brightness of the display, multiple things. And the language at the first part, so I changed mine to English right away. But on this PVO2, that lets you select between the units, which are millimeters or inches. So right now I have it set for millimeters. I could just go to inches, hit the button, escape back out, and you can see I'm at 1.184 inches, which is 30 millimeters. If I want to go back and switch that back, I can just hit that for the parameters again, hit the display again, hit that 2 again, and then go back up to millimeters, hit enter, and then escape back out, and I am at 30 millimeters. So again, really easy to use once you kind of have used it a few times, and super functional if you don't want to have to go to the tap method. And thanks for watching. Couldn't be happier with this machine. I hope that more people buy them in the US. I think I'm still the lone owner, but hopefully that'll change soon, and SCM will sell some more of them. Again, I'm not affiliated with SCM, but I do love this Law Invincible joiner planer combo. And thanks for watching PK Woodworking.